What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the third episode of the Fit Entrepreneurs podcast. My name is Ryan. Sitting next to me is Dimitrik.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And this week it is Easter, so happy Easter to all of you out there. And so this episode is going to be about, I guess, the struggle. Yeah, the struggle. So it's been quite a week for myself and for you too.
Yeah, definitely. This has probably been a challenging week, just mentally and physically. Just physically being that I've worked so much, putting in a lot more hours at my daytime, my Clark Kent, Clark Kent job.
Nice.
But mentally it's just been unmotivating, and I guess that's where we got the idea about this topic, is that we both agree that this week has been a very challenging week mentally. The motivation has not been there as far as like just goal setting. I've set a lot of goals this week. I've accomplished one.
Yeah.
And that was to set goals for the next week.
Yeah. No, it was a tough week.
Yeah, what about you, man? What's going on?
So basically the same thing. My mind was focused on the Clark Kent. I like that term. That's cool. But we both have jobs outside of this Fit Entrepreneurs podcast for now. But for now. See, you gotta say for now. But yeah. So myself, I do a couple things, but one of the jobs that I had to do this week, or that I would concern myself with this week, took a lot of hours out of my schedule, and it was basically because I had to help a friend out. Didn't have to, wanted to help a friend out this weekend with moving, and that meant that I had to put in some extra hours earlier in the week, and in general, just my schedule was just a little bit off this week. And I found myself putting aside the things that I had told myself I was going to get done during the week for the Fit Entrepreneur podcast, for my own fitness goals and stuff. I put a lot of that aside, because I had to chase the money. So
the money.
Yeah, the money, and that's the unfortunate situation that we're in for now. We have passions, but we also have to pay the bills. Exactly. So that's where we are right now. Hopefully our passions will pay the bills and then some. That's where we're moving towards. But for now, we both have this.
That's definitely the long-term goal.
Yes, right.
Which I know en route, when people are in the process, their long-term goals they wish could be short-term goals. Mm-hmm. I mean, they can be short-term goals, but they want them to achieve them in the short-term time.
Right. The long-term
goals in the short-term time.
Right.
There you go.
It doesn't work like that.
It does not work like that. So, to be honest, guys, this day and age, we live in a spontaneous or instant gratification.
Instant gratification. Yeah.
An instant gratification world where we want everything just right now. Which in reality does not work like that. And I think that was probably my biggest struggle for this week, because I set so many goals for myself and I was getting so lost in the process. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I was like, man, I'm putting in all this work right now. How come I'm not reaping any benefits of all the work I'm putting in? And I was getting so wrapped into that in that mindset, which caused me to do nothing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so back to, us living in the instant gratification, type world, is that you can even take a look at processes like, I don't know, the microwave. You know what I mean?
The microwave.
The microwave. Yeah, look at the microwave. So, have you ever been like in an office setting? You see somebody throwing their frozen pizza, frozen dinner in the microwave, and they're just looking at it, just impatiently. You know what I mean? And like that 30 seconds on the microwave may feel like 2-3 hours.
Especially when you're hungry.
Exactly. Especially when you're hungry. I don't know. That's probably a bad analogy, but I guess like my point is that you can't rush the process, and that's something that I've been really trying to stress myself the past couple of weeks. It's really been, I don't know, kind of tearing me up and making me slow down, which is a huge, I guess, no.
Yeah. Well, you want to do it methodically, right? Like we're we're trying to do a lot of things right now, both of us, and so we filled our plates pretty full, and we I guess are starting to try to map that better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess the last week for me was like okay, dude, you have a lot going on, and that's okay, but you have to give time for each of these processes, and that's the constant struggle of scheduling, because we're both kind of trying to re-level things, I guess. At least I have the personal training. I drive Uber, which is we'll probably talk about that. Uber, yes, depending on what part of the world that you're in. And then I have this mutual goal with Dimitri of starting this online stuff.
Big business.
And then we also and then I also have a kid. I have a son who takes a lot of my time, and I enjoy that time, and I give that time to our relationship because I want to have that time, and so there's a lot going on. But yeah, so now this past week has shown me the importance of scheduling and committing to the time for this venture between Dimitri and I, and really committing to that. Scheduling is one thing, but then you got to commit to it. While we talked about that too.
What's really helped me? So I bought 2 dry erase boards. Mm-hmm. So one, just a plain, there you go. Just a one big plain dry erase board and another dry erase board with calendar on it.
There you go. Yeah.
And so I've gotten pretty efficient with Evernote. Guys, if you've never used Evernote, I highly, highly recommend that you download it and you learn about it and you use it daily. You can use Evernote to stash anything in your mind. If you have a thought, you want to open up a blank note, throw your thoughts on in a blank note, or if you need a timer, if you need a scheduler, if you need a to-do list, all of that is in Evernote.
Yeah, you showed me that. That's a good app.
Really good app. But so you can use that. But anyway, so I bought those 2 dry erase boards, and I've been trying to get better at scheduling out my entire month. Like as far as this podcast goes, so every Sunday I know I'm doing a podcast with Ryan. So I had already wrote podcast every single Sunday and the topic on that day. And of course it's going to vary. Topic's going to vary depending on how our week goes, but for the most part we know what we're going to talk about before we get into it. But with the blank dry erase boards, I'm getting really diligent in writing my weekly goals. Mm-hmm. I write weekly goals and bi-weekly goals.
Yes.
And I'll sometimes do monthly goals. And then to be honest, I never really worried too much about writing my yearly goals on the board. Mm-hmm. I have my yearly goals in a notepad.
Okay. Yeah.
My big dry erase board is mainly focused on my weekly and my bi-weekly goals. And I take those goals and I break them up into smaller goals. And so you want to break your goals down as small as possible so it's not overwhelming. So every day you can just focus on just taking one step towards accomplishing, that small goal. Yeah. And next thing you know, you're going to be taking many steps forward, and then you're going to be like, oh, damn, I've reached my weekly goal. Mm-hmm. So now you can start focusing on that bi-weekly goal. And then once you hit that bi-weekly goal, you can start focusing on that monthly goal.
Right.
And then once you add up everything together, you're going to find yourself at your yearly goal. So guys, the goal is to take one step at a time. It doesn't have to be a giant step. Doesn't have to be a huge, double, triple step, a Shaq step, I would call it. Mm-hmm. But the goal is to consistently run a marathon, because this game of life is a marathon, to be honest. And so many people try to make it a sprint, which it should not have to be that way. Because no matter how fast or how slow you're going to hit your goals if you consistently move forward every single day. Yeah. And this week I have learned a lot about myself in the process of goal setting and hitting your goals. But at the end of the day, you're going to have struggles. You're going to have obstacles. You're going to have things, family, friends, events that want to stop you from doing the right thing. Not even the right thing, but doing the right thing for you, and your goals. You just got to overcome that. You got to realize what's important during that time, and then realize that you're not doing the right thing, and then just rework your steps, and then continue back on the path to working towards what you really need to achieve for that week.
Yeah, I think, definitely. I think that's well said. The goal setting thing for us, I think was going really well.
Yeah.
We've both been pretty good at setting goals and organization on our personal schedules.
Yeah.
We've gotten better at that and personally, but when we added this project, we for the first couple of weeks were super on top of it. We were like giving each other like homework notes. We had a shared note in Evernote, which is another cool thing about Evernote too. To plug the app one more time, you can share notes with people. Yeah, it's Evernote. But yeah, you can share notes with people and you can add to them and you can both see it. So it's cool in that way. And we were doing that, and I think that we both really benefited a lot from that constant touch between the two of us. Like we reminded each other like, hey, what's this or that, and we were sharing all of this different information with each other.
Yeah.
Which was great and kept us on track. This past week we did a lot less of that, and because of that, I think both of us, our motivation was lower, even extending out into the other parts of our life, because we weren't doing what we were doing before.
Exactly.
So great to have goals, great to make those goal lists, very important to success, but also the continuation of that process, not taking like that big chunk, like Dimitri was saying, like having those overarching big long-term yearly goals.
Yes.
Important, but you also have to break it down to the smaller steps, and you have to consistently have that plan in place so that you know what you're doing. And what I experienced this past week was I was doing stuff on top of my regular schedule.
Yeah.
And that was good. The things that I were doing were good things. I was helping a friend out, and that was important for me, and I wanted to do that. But at the same time, I did a poor job of adjusting all of my other goal sets in order to accommodate that scheduling change, so that other parts of my goal setting failed, or all the other parts of my schedule failed. Our schedule failed. I was failing our schedule. I even forgot to post something. It was my day to post something on our page. We agreed to split content posting and adding stuff. I forgot because I was so mentally somewhere else and I didn't have my reminder set up. So it's important to put the systems in place that assist you with goal setting, like using the Evernote app for reminders and stuff like that, or Google Calendars, whatever you need to do.
That's also another good
tool. Google is a powerful suite. If you're not familiar with Google yet, just sit down and do the tutorials they have. There's so much stuff that Google can do for you and your business in general. It's just amazing. And there's so many things that are out there that can help you. So setting the goals on paper and then using the systems that are available to you, I think, is important. And then whoever you're working with, if you don't have a partner in this, and whatever your entrepreneurial goal is, or your fitness goals, if you don't have somebody that you can bounce stuff with, then you have to even use those systems even more. Like you have to, use the applications to help you even more, or set those systems in place even more. But if you do have somebody that you're working with, make sure that you're constantly working with them and give that energy to them. Give that energy to them, and you're going to get it back as well from them. And I think it adds a lot. So, yeah, definitely goal setting. And don't beat yourself up if you have stuff that you need to change about your schedule. That's life. There's always going to be, going back to the beginning, the struggle. That's life. Life is a struggle. Life is always going to give you challenges, but that's the most important part of life is overcoming those challenges.
There you go.
Yeah.
And what's kind of cool about this talk is that we've kind of like unseemingly like broke it up into like a few couple tips.
Tips, yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when we first started talking, like we were talking about identifying the problem.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Once you have the problem identified, you need to think about the action steps you need to take to get yourself out of that slump, I would say.
Right.
You know what I mean? So once you identify the problem, you create action steps, and then you implement tools to help you put action towards those action steps.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so that's been pretty cool. So besides those few tools, besides identifying, the issue, it's also, just like what Ryan was saying, finding people that have the same goals as you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just having communication with them. So one thing in the entrepreneurial world that I really like is having mastermind groups. Or, I know you have to pay for a lot of those type of groups, but even then, if you know people in your circle or even outside of your circle that's crushing it in life, get close to them. All that can do is just benefit you in the long run. Because, there's that one quote that I really liked is I guess like the person you are or your outcome of life or the quality of your life is like I don't know, adds up to your 5 closest friends.
Yeah, your 5, yeah.
Yeah. The
T-Mobile used to have my 5, whatever it's called.
I butchered that quote. Completely butchered it.
Whoever that was, sorry.
Yeah, so anonymous.
Anonymous, right.
But anyway, so it's important to find those that have the same passions as you do, because it's going to be so easy to bounce ideas off of each other and to stay in contact with each other to help keep each other motivated throughout the week.
Yeah. No, but I mean, what you're saying with the 5 thing, I mean, that's a basic principle. There's quotes about it, but that's a lot of people have talked about at this point. Motivators, entrepreneurial motivators and stuff. It's a common core concept for a lot of things to do with success, a lot of routes to success. All these people have identified that community, just like Dimitri's saying, community is a huge part of finding success in whatever it is that you want to find success in. You have to talk to, you have to be around, you have to surround yourself with people that have common core concept or common core goals on some level, so that you are motivated by those people as well. Podcasts are great. If you're listening to this podcast, you have identified some level of interest in yourself, into entrepreneurship or into fitness.
Yes.
And that you just listening to this, even though we're new to the podcast game, you're probably somewhat inspired, hopefully, I hope, by what we're doing and finding information helpful. Hopefully we're helping you, but you just listening, even if you're taking a percent of what we're giving to you right now as informational core content, you're still saying, wait a minute, these guys are recording a podcast about things that they're passionate about. I'm passionate about stuff. I want to record a podcast. Hopefully that's going in your head at some point in this podcast, and then you're realizing I can do it. Like, that's why we do this. That's why we're doing this, because we want to help people feel the way that we feel right now, because other people have helped us feel this way about chasing our goals and chasing our dreams. So we have this schedule, and we kept it. We had a lot of challenges this week.
No matter what we're feeling.
Yeah, no matter what we're feeling. Like, I was tired. Dimitri came. He was waiting. He waited 20 minutes outside my house while I was sleeping, because I'd only slept like 3.5 hours or 4 hours, and I completely didn't even hear his calls. And then I woke up and I was like, oh crap, sorry. Like, Dimitri's outside. I got to get going here. We got to get this together. We got to get this podcast in.
Exactly.
And we made it happen.
Yeah, and that's why we've been making it a point to remain transparent throughout this entire process.
Yes.
Like, we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
I've never done a podcast before. Have you?
No, I've never done a podcast.
So, and our goal is to show you guys the process. The beginnings of it.
Right.
Every week we promise you guys we're going to remain consistent and show you the ups and all the downs.
Right.
Like, this is no, I guess, like, we're not trying to identify the glory moments.
This isn't highly polished at all.
Exactly.
We're not trying to do that.
This is not polished. We're not chasing perfection. We don't want perfection. We just want to show you guys what 2 average guys look like with big goals.
Right.
At the end of the day, we got the same goals, and we're just trying to use this as a window.
Yeah.
So you guys can look in and see what goes on during the process of somebody making it. Because at the end of the day, that is the goal at the end of the day. And I hope this podcast does take us somewhere, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. We've got the experience, and I'm pretty happy about starting it all. Life is about making mistakes, trying new things, and making mistakes. You're not truly a failure until you decide to quit. Exactly. Like, life is just is lessons. So just take every mistake or every setback as a lesson. Or no, there's this one quote I like. every setback is a setup for your comeback or something like that.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
So quoted. So 2 quotes butchered this podcast.
We're gonna get a quote book and have it sitting next to us. We can do that correctly.
I swear.
Yeah, exactly. I like how you said that. It's a window, and that's the crux of this. This is the very core of this is a window to what we want to do, and I think we're doing a good job of being transparent so far. And again, any questions that you guys have about what we're doing, please ask us, because we want to answer questions and we want to be there as a true, transparent look at what it is. It's not. We're not trying to tell you we know this, we know that. We have questions. We go look at the world of entrepreneurship and fitness. We learn stuff, and then we bring it back to you guys, and we try to help you out with that as we help ourselves.
Exactly. So, just like we said in the beginning, guys, we would really love to keep this podcast right around 20 minutes. We are surpassing that by a minute, so I hope you guys enjoyed this extra minute. But I guess we can do a little quick recap.
Yeah, so recap. Okay, so what do we got? Struggle is real.
The struggle is very real. So once you find that you have a problem going on, the first step is to identify that there is something going on. So after you have identified the problem, you got to create action steps towards to correcting that issue.
Get your plan.
Exactly. So once you got your plan together, you need to actually apply action to that plan. And once you've applied action, find some people in your life to help you stay motivated.
Yes.
Because that's the biggest tool. So those 4 steps will help you have a better week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But other than that, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed episode 3. We've had a lot of fun filming these podcasts every single week. So as always, I'm Dimitri. This is Ryan. We truly thank each and every single one of you that have been downloading the podcast, that have been shouting us out, liking our statuses, liking our everything that we put out. So
yes,
we thank you.
Thank you.
Until next time.
We out here.